Warning, the following video is rated R for retarded. In a world full of crime, corruption, destruction, and suffering, one man stands up and decides to do what no one else will. He will put his life on the line so he can go to the movie theater and review movies. That's right. I'm not kidding. This is Devil Dog at the Movies.
Hello everybody, it's me Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing the just released Army of the Dead. Before I get started, a big huge shout out to Dead Eyeball Man. This one's for you. Now, what exactly is Army of the Dead? Well, it is a 2021 zombie heist film directed and written by Zack Snyder, and it's an epic casino heist during a zombie apocalypse that takes place in Vegas. Now, this movie cost close to $70 to $90 million for its budget to make, and it went through development hell at Warner Brothers before it was picked up and bought by Netflix in 2019. Now, this movie was released in a small theatrical release in theaters on May 14th of 2021, but has just seen an actual official release on Netflix of May 21st of 2021. And the key thing to let you know is this is not a sequel to Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead, just so you know that. Now, as for the main plot, I'm not going to ruin anything for you, that way you can enjoy this movie, but just to let you know, it kind of starts off with the military traveling, taking some special cargo, while a married couple driving down the road crashes into him while the dude's getting a blowjob and releasing the overall end of the world. That's the best way to describe it. It's got zombie dancers in it. I do have a cheat sheet here. Like I said, honestly, it does have a lot of CGI gore. It can be rather excessive, and it doesn't really look that great. I'm more of a practical guy, but it does serve its purpose, and I do appreciate it. The gore, hands down, is quite well done. The overall slow motion opening they have, playing with the music, showing and setting up everything, I think is very well done. It brings back old memories of Zombieland to me, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it did help me get the overall feeling of the vibe of what this movie is going to be. Now, basically, without spoiling everything, due to the situation involving an unknown presence in Vegas turning everyone into zombies, they wall off all of Vegas and they don't let no one go in there. And the overall plot of this is they send in a team of people to try to steal $200 million worth of money out of a vault of one of the casinos before they drop a nuclear weapon into Vegas and destroy it. So Dave Bautista and a specialized team of people that he's gathered go in there, and they have pretty much a really limited amount of time to be able to get this money and get the hell out. Naturally, all kinds of shit happens along the way, and really in the end, it really does get kind of messed up. It's kind of sad because a lot of the character development is quite well done, but it is rather stereotypical. This movie is well over 2.5 hours long. Come on, Zack Snyder, make a movie that's a normal length. You've got to be able to figure out how to do that. Seriously. Now, this movie does have a lot of comedic aspects to it, but they also try to throw in a lot of emotional things as well. And I don't really think it works too well. I mean, if you would just stick with one or the other, it would work quite well. If you wanted to have a very grounded, gritty, realistic, emotional story, it would have worked. But there's all these comedic aspects that fit in. And honestly, it kind of undermines the overall feel of the movie. It doesn't ruin the movie at all. It's actually quite entertaining from start to finish, though there are some slow parts. You know, honestly, with this movie, it would kind of remind me if you had a zombie Planet of the Apes. Now, what I mean by that is the intelligence of the zombies and a certain pecking order with the top tier bosses and the lower level thugs, as I would call it. It's a nice twist on the overall zombie formula. Now, honestly, if you go into this movie expecting something that's going to be unique, it's really not. It's just a dumb popcorn flick. It's got a decent amount of gore. The acting is well done, and the character development is pretty good as well. But I have to say, the characters are very all stereotypical characters. You're not going to have any that you aren't going to go, okay, this guy's going to be the good guy. This guy's going to double cross them. This one's going to be the badass that's going to die at the end. It's got all the tropes that you're expecting. So if you're expecting something out of the normal, no, you're not going to get it in this movie. This movie, hands down, is going to give you all the stereotypical fluff that you're expecting, which, once again, is not a bad thing. Most of the characters are rather cool. I like the development of most of them, especially Dave Bautista's character. His name is Scott Ward, kind of a generic name, but I do like the development of his character through the movie with him and his daughter. Some of the other ones are you see them and you're like, okay, I know what's going to happen with them. It's not anything that's really going to be new for you if you've watched any sort of zombie flick. But I will have to say the effects are quite well done, even from the majority of them being CGI. The practical effects are quite well done. I love the close-ups of the zombies, the gore. I love the main zombie villain riding his zombie horse. He's got a zombie freaking tiger. That's actually really cool. It's one of the highlights of the movie, especially with one of the main bad guys. The way he ends up at the end is a really, really satisfying ending. Now, as you progress through this, it does kind of feel like a Resident Evil game, really, with the terms of the plot and everything that's going on. And at the end, it's kind of all for nothing. All these characters are built up, and pretty much other than a couple of them, they all end up getting killed. And it's kind of disturbing if you aren't expecting it. But if you're anybody with enough brains in your head, your brains, you're going to see this from a mile away when watching this. You're like, okay, I see what's going on. They're setting up this character to be this particular, character. This character to be the hero character. This one to risk their life at the end. It's very stereotypical. They have all the tropes in this, and there's nothing really special or new in this sort of movie at all. Oh, I do have to really say I like the use of "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" as a song in it. It does fit quite well. But I have to ask, microwave? Microwave? What the fuck? Really? Microwave? You'll know if you watch the movie what I'm talking about. But in the end, my personal feelings of Army of the Dead is if you just get yourself a big thing of popcorn, some jujubes, a nice Coca-Cola, and sit down and enjoy it for what it is as a rather schlocky zombie heist movie. It's actually very entertaining, even though it's almost 2.5+ hours long. Thank you, dude. You can't make a normal length movie. Honestly, it goes by pretty quick. It's actually an entertaining movie. I love the acting of all the characters, the good guys, the bad guys, the main zombie villains, and all that. The effects are pretty good, even though I can clearly tell which is CGI and which is practical. But in the end, all I have to do is say this. If someone's wearing a mask, shoot them in the fucking eye! What's so hard about shooting somebody in the eye if they have a metal mask on? They've got open holes. Shoot them in the eye. If you can kill a zombie by hitting them in their brain, shoot them in the eye. Problem solved. Now, I do not know if they plan a sequel to this, but they kind of have an ending where they leave it kind of open. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with the ending. I seen it coming a mile away. Leave in the comments below of what you think if you've seen Army of the Dead, what you particularly think of this particular movie, if you think the effects are good, if you like that tiger or not. Do you like the aspects of giving really good intelligence to the zombies, a pecking order, so to speak? Did you like the characters? Did you like the movie? Leave it in the comments below. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please leave in the comments below if you have any questions or answers to any sort of thing I say about this movie. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.